You can't even tell that that's on, but it is. You saw it. It's Halloween, and today I'm going to be telling you a spooky story. Not just one, but a couple. You see, today I thought was the best day of all to tell you my book, Borrowing Horror Stories. These tales are not for the weak. They tell of tales of lost, of hurt books. And so please, if you are faint-hearted, turn off this video and go watch a book club. We're about to get spooky. By the way, I would turn off the lights, but it's gonna be dark and natural lighting is my light, so we can have lights off. But I've got the candles for the added spook effect. Anyway, back to the spookiness. I will be leaving the spookiest tale to last, but first let me tell you something. I was in high school and I had this vampire series. I cannot now remember the series, but it was after my Twilight days and I was trying to read every vampire series I could. I remember it being focused on a beach though. Anyway, I lent the second and the third book to my friend. She's normally pretty good with that. I trusted her, so I lent them. It had been a couple of weeks and that was unusual for her, but not to have returned them by then. And so I asked her. She looks at me funny and she goes, "Oh, yeah, but they're just in my bag. Let me go get them." She comes back and she's hiding behind her back, which I think is strange. But no, I trust her. She hands them to me and walks away quickly. And I look at them. They're wet, covered in mold. They're pages. They were big books, much like this one. And they were all wet. And mold was all here. Even little green stuff had started growing on them. They were unusable. I had to throw them out. I asked her later what had happened to them, and she said she forgot about them and left them in the bottom of her bag. I don't know what was in the bottom of her bag. It must have been some pretty horrible stuff. Those books had to be thrown out. I could not save them. And that is my first tale of horror. Next, we have a book that I've been lending books to this friend for a while. She has been really good with them. Now the book is up there and I would get it. I can't be bothered. And also it would ruin, hopefully, my camera, and I don't want to knock these candles, so we're just gonna leave it up there. Anyway, I lent her If I Stay. I just enjoyed it and I really liked it. I finally got it back to her and it was creased. Not just any crease. It was like someone had, I can't do this to this book, it would hurt me. But it was all bent and it was half back. Horrified, I asked what had happened to it. And she told me that she did not like the book and so she wrecked it. I smiled through the pain. Who does that? Who does that to another person's books? Suffice to say, I have never lent a book again, especially to her. Now the last tale happened a few years back. I just read one of my favourite books, Anna Dressed in Blood, for the first time. I'd only just started booktubing, so I didn't have many subscribers, so I didn't really have commenters like I do now. So I didn't really have anyone to discuss a book with, so I lent it to a friend. This is where the story gets sad. I loved that book. It was my everything. I was obsessed. It would have been the perfect time to read now. It's a horror book, Anna Dressed in Blood. Fantastic. I loved it so much. I just wanted to discuss the book with someone. He never gave it back. Never. After I lent him the book, we started to drift apart. He moved and then I moved. We moved away and then he developed a sickness. I felt bad asking about my book. Now we're still friends on Facebook, but how can I bring it up? You've got my book? That book was one of my favourite books and it is lost to me forever. I see it in the bookshelves at stores and I never have the money on me to buy it again. It haunts me, the tale. What happened to it? Because I don't know what happened to it. Is it lost? Is it destroyed? Is it in his shelf somewhere? Has he lent it out? Has he thrown it? Where is it? That's what's most haunting about this tale, is that we don't know where it is, if it's okay. It should be here on my shelf, on my favourite shelf, but it is not. Book borrowing is a horrible, horrible tale. You just want to lend out books to your friends, to talk to them with. They ask you, "Can I borrow a book out?" You can't say no. You've got so many books. What excuse are you going to make? You feel bad, so you say yes. And then this happens. These are my book borrowing horror stories. I told you, they were not for the faint-hearted. If someone has your book and they haven't returned it yet, or you lent out a book to a friend and they gave it back to you ruined, send them this video. Remind them of the sins that they have made. And tell me, how many of you have lost your loved ones, your books, to tales like mine? I would love to know in the comments below. Happy Halloween.